Previously on Critically Stupid.
Hello and welcome back to Critically Stupid. I'm sure you're watching weekly or at the very least binging all the episodes at once, but if you can go ahead and just skip past this recap here, on the off chance that you do need a little bit of a catch-up, I'm here to help you out. Last week was quite eventful. It started with me hanging from the ceiling via a knife in the wall and spewing profanities at a Erstal Floxen. Erstal Floxen, who was hired by Lady Gralhund to steal a stone, and he and his goons were betrayed by the aforementioned Lady Gralhund, and were now holding her hostage, trying to figure out what happened to the stone. They didn't have quite as much leverage as I think they might have expected them to, because we had a shockingly little amount of empathy for Lady Gralhund. We're not very much a fan of her. After realizing this, we started disputing and arguing over the map to said stone. We tried to, get a good look at it so Arnold could copy it with his bard magic. It got torn up. I think they have half of it. And they made a quick getaway. We went to go after them just in time to see the most corny, unprofessional, stupid robber I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a few. A good handful. She clumsily broke into the study, leaving several traces of her existence. She identified herself as the Black Viper, I believe. And then she left a calling card just in case we weren't sure about following her home. When I was in sophomore year of high school, we had to write a research paper, and I chose to do the research paper on the same topic that I wrote my freshman year one on. And so when I was asked for a bibliography, I cited my own paper as the only source.
How did that go?
You know what? I got a passing grade, and the teacher did not like me very much.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into Critically Stupid, soon to be world famous Dungeons and Dragons real play podcast. I am your host, Alexander James, your friendly neighborhood dungeon master and aficionado of cheese. My favorite part of last episode was the NPC that I spun out of thin air and thick water, a shellfish who spoke suspiciously like an off-brand imitation of Jiminy Cricket. I don't know why he's my favorite, but I just like his vibe. I think he's a cool dude. Bestie, why don't you go next?
My name is Dianna, and I play Mel. And my favorite part of last episode was Josh Pat riding on the cow's back because he didn't want his little paws to get wet. I love him. He's so cute in my head, you guys. He's just a fluffy little fucker, and I love him.
Cuter in my head.
Whoa.
Just an unnecessary one-up for no reason.
Right? Like, before I logged
I like
in,
it.
did you just convene with them and we're like, yeah, let's shit on Dianna tonight. You're going to say you love her dog more. I'm going to make fun of her mental health. Anthony, what are you going to do?
I never said
I'm
loved
on your
him
team.
more. I just said he was
I'm on her
cuter.
team too.
And they did do that right before you got here, and I tried to stop them.
Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate that.
That's why I was late. I was messaging Alex, like, do not, under any circumstances.
We had a huge whiteboard that says how to ruin Diana's evening.
Right? We can't let her get too happy because like the suicide jokes are funny. So let's just keep her down here.
I'm Anthony. I play Arnold, and honestly, my favorite part of the last episode was also the weird little lobster creature that I thought was gonna die every single second he was alive. I was just like, okay, oh god,
I want to kill it.
I thought when the cow stepped on him that was going to be the
So
end of him.
he stopped me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was so many moments where I was like, this is gonna be my best friend. Please don't murder him. And then
Squish him.
it was gonna get squished for sure. But yeah, that was it. And Jess, you go next.
My favorite part of last episode is when there was an NPC with like my real life name for some reason. Also my name is Jess and I play Tess.
What?
So
What? Your name is Jess?
Whoa!
I know.
I thought your legal given name was Testicle.
Your government name is
Your-
not testicles?
It's on my it's on
Your
on my
passport doesn't say
passport.
Testicle.
Yeah, it's Tessica Tickles. Full name. Yeah. Is everyone gone?
No,
Garrett.
my name is
Oh,
Garion, and
you're
I play
next.
Gareth. My favorite part of last episode was the corniest fucking burglar I've ever seen in my life. Not only did she suck at her job, she left. First of all, you shouldn't leave a calling card as a robber. That's bad practice. Not only did she leave a calling card, she did it after I mockingly asked, "Are you gonna leave a calling card?" What an
Here's a
insane
here's a
individual.
secret. She didn't have one before you said something. Like, okay. So we are going to open in Arnold Gralhund's study. You are looking at the freshly fallen corpse of what was once one of the more powerful noblemen in the city, Arnold Gralhund, lying on the floor, dead as heck. You know that the city watch is at the front door. So I want your sort of like immediate reactions as to like what's happening and how your character is feeling sort of like in this sort of pressure-filled situation.
I do know how Gareth would react. Not sure it's awesome.
I mean, we got to go there.
So does this guy have like a wallet on him, or
Are you joking me right now?
when I quote know what Gareth would do, but it's not awesome.
All right, give me a perception check, Gareth.
I'm doing it.
A scan for valuables. I feel like you need a special like scan for valuables check.
Yeah, right. I got a 15 plus 3 is 18.
All right, that's pretty good. He is dressed pretty simply. He doesn't go for a lot of like gaudy sort of like bedazzlement on his clothes or his person. One of his hands is sporting a wedding ring.
Take it.
I'm thinking about it.
What's Jess feel like about this scenario?
Tess
Tess.
is
Okay, what does
feeling
Tess feel like too?
Tess
I'm
is
curious about both.
Tess is still chewing her map, thinking that it was not as good as it looked. And it's kind of like, I didn't really like care about that guy anyway. So she's kind of just like, oh yeah, he's dead. This map is all right. It's
Fair
okay.
enough. Arnold, speaking of the map, thank you, Tess, for bringing it up. The map is also gone. It was torn. It was torn out of your hands. You're holding like a scrap of like maybe one corner where I think at the end of last episode, you tore it trying to like keep it from Ursula Floxen's viewpoint. And then like I think in the scruff, the other half got torn away. So you're holding half a map with some
He saw
cow
it,
marks
though,
in
right?
it.
But he saw the
he
whole
got a good
thing.
look.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
thing.
You and Tess caught like good views of it. That's why I think you were tearing it apart, was to try and keep it that way. And per his last sentences, Ursula Floxen didn't get a good look at it. So you're feeling pretty good about like what you're holding on to map wise. But how are you feeling about the whole situation, Arnold?
So I'm furious that this Lady Gralhund ran away without giving me the award for, the Battle of the Bards. I know it was due. Like Arnold was just like, she said there was an award here where, so Arnold's just kind of like looking around. I would like to like look around the room just to see if maybe I can find the award or something that's of equal or equal or greater value.
Yeah, maybe
Gotcha.
it's in this dead guy's wallet.
that he
brain-
totally has.
I'd like to imagine that Arnold kind of is blind to that. He's just like, no, a friend is gone. Like, no.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if there's like a because Arnold's lost so many friends.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if there's like a special moment that he like does after every one of them drops, and he's just like,
It's
get a
the
dump,
tattoo.
dump.
He gets a
dump.
tattoo and another one. But yeah. He sings fantasy. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
And-
Copyright free. Another one bites the dust. All right, Arnold, give me a perception check as well. Let's see what you notice.
You got it.
Oh, Garrett, this guy's got a tattoo behind one ear.
What?
It's a fucking sick spider, bro.
That was good.
That's a crazy Hunter x Hunter reference.
I got an 18.
Okay. Your scope is a little bit broader than Garrett's. I think Gareth was specifically hunting for valuables, things that he could like take with him, essentially. There are a number of personal items around this room. Clearly, this was a study that Arnold Gralhund put a lot of time and effort into. On his desk, the desk itself is big and imposing. It's like black leather and mahogany, and it's got lots of desks, some of which have like keyholes, and they're clearly like buttons under the sort of like central part where there are like secret compartments that the owner of the desk would know about. There's like a couple pictures on the desk. There's a lamp with a small folded paper bird. There is like a pen holder with a couple of cool pens in there. And across the room, sort of like spread across the shelves, you can see, you know, like whatever was in these cases before either the Goobers or Jess Apostrophe made off with them. Pretty valuable, pretty cool. A lot of like really thick glass, gold embellishments on the cases. Like this was a spot where like somebody of learning and science kept his prizes.
Okay.
Would like to eat the paper bird. Thank you.
All right. Tess, you wander over and you grab do you just chomp for it, or do you take a Tess nibble? Do you like how
Take
do
a
you
nibble.
eat things? Okay.
Well, have you seen how a horse eats it, or a horse or cow, whatever the fuck I am, donkey? She like nibbles a little bit, and it kind of slowly gets sucked more and more in her mouth, and then she chews it for a while because cut. So she takes a little nibble off the wing at first.
Okay.
just to,
It
test
tastes
out, 'cause she
like
didn't really love
battery
the map,
acid.
so now she's sus with paper.
It tastes like battery acid. It tastes real bad.
Oh, okay. Then she spits it
Alright.
out, and she's like, "The fuck is this? This tastes terrible."
I grab the pens. Like I want to, like I see her doing that, and I don't want her to eat anything else. I was like, I want this. This is mine.
You like baby proofing?
And then I also like put it to my mouth to see if it's also gross, just like slowly. Just-
Because also gets a look at the picture on the desk, because you said there was a frame there.
okay.
So while she
Yeah,
was nomming, she takes a look at the picture.
It is a picture of a much younger, decades younger, Arnold Gralhund and
He hot?
Lady Yalah Gralhund. He is actually quite hot. He's got sort of like shorn.
He's got a fade.
Yeah, he's got like a high fade.
Hell yeah.
His hair is like platinum blonde with like ruby streaks. Like it's pretty punk rock. It looks like they're in some sort of like concert. Like there are people jumping around them. Lady Yalah Gralhund is smiling, sort of ear to ear. She looks like a much younger, more exuberant person. But what actually catches your eye is the inscription written across the top of this picture, Tess, sort of like in a hasty hand, handwritten. Hasty handwritten. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's on the record. It says Arond and Alora, 42.
Is that her name, Alora?
That's just what it says. Really quick
42?
before we move past it, what's Mel doing?
I thought you were intentionally skipping me because you knew that I was in a mood.
Sorry,
now.
it was my fault. I ate the bird.
Mel and Josh Pat, actually at the end of the last episode, like you had ended it before I had a chance to speak again, but like we're done. We're done.
Okay,
We want to
okay.
get out of this fucking study. We're looking like out the window where what's her fuck just jumped out, and we're like, can we do this? Like, I'm like, maybe I can hold like Josh Pat when I go down. Like is this a viable way to get? Because I don't want to deal with the city guard because that's just too much trouble. But I'm ready to be out of here. I think Mel would actually be a little bit upset that Aran was dead because she was actually trying to keep him alive in a twisted way by but still get information. But she was planning to like keep him alive and help keep him safe, and she wasn't able to do that, so she would be upset and just ready to be done.
Looking outside this window, Mel, there is a rope that's sort of like fastened to one side of this. It's almost like somebody lassoed a top corner of the window and pulled it open and then used that to shimmy up. And you get the sense that in her sort of like haste to get out of the study, Jess apostrophe just either forgot it was there or beefed the jump and just left it.
Yeah. So Mel would definitely be like, I think we can get out this way, and I think we should get out because we know the city watch is downstairs, guys. Like take what you want. I don't care because Lady Gralhund is not like she's a bitch, but make it fast and let's just get out of here.
While you say that, Mel, downstairs you hear the familiar Russian scented tones. Fuck me.
That's for Tess, right?
What an insane sentence.
Smell like.
It smells like
What do their
vodka.
voices smell like, Alex?
What do they smell like?
Yeah, the one that does the smelling wants to know.
Yeah.
They
What
smell
does Russian
like
smell like?
Russian smells like raw vodka and the first frost of snow. And you hear Ursula Floxen say, "Yes, they are upstairs. They are the murderers. They have killed Oron Gralhund. I go haste into them." This is obviously very muffled through like several floors. Clearly, this is from downstairs.
As Gareth hears this, I want to try two main things. One, I want to spike the door. I want to make it as difficult as possible for them to open the door.
Okay.
And two, I don't know how to specifically do this. I want to get rid of any trace that we were here. I feel like Gareth, as a criminal, should be capable of doing that to some extent.
I would
Didn't
say
Arnold
so.
write down his name?
There is a painting outside with, I think Arnold wrote.
I wrote
Wish
Arnold
Tolkien
was
and
here.
Matt.
But I rolled a
He fucked
terrible
up.
roll and it ended up being Arnold was here. But
I'm getting rid
made
of
the
that.
argument
That's like top of the list of things that are.
But I think we
Gareth
were
did
planning to
something.
frame the other, because who would be so
Yes,
dumb to write
because-
their own name? Like
exactly, yes.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm
Clearly,
I'm getting
we
rid of
didn't
that
do
anyway.
that.
Real talk.
That is out in the hallway down the way, Garrett. So if you want to grab it, you can, but you're going to have to go out and down and risk being seen by the guard.
Oh, you know what? Unfortunately, that says Arnold was here and not Gareth. No, I'm kidding. However, I did already spike the door, so that is a bummer.
Okay, so I think
What does that mean?
spiking the door means that he's closing it and he's putting something in the floor just in front of where it would swing open, so that it's going to take several kicks to get open instead of just swinging. Unless, Gareth, you had another definition in mind.
I mean, basically the same thing, but I always pictured it when you like take like little slanted things and stuff them under a door or something. But yeah,
just like
same,
a chair.
Yeah, same concept.
Oh,
really.
okay.
You just
Yeah,
spike,
by the
chair, sofa.
By the door, there's like a little like side table and two chairs. One of them is well worn and sat through, has like butt imprints and sort of like dandruff on where the head would rest. And the other one looks like brand new, never been touched, but you feel like they would fit very nicely underneath that very expensive heavy door.
Yeah, I'm gonna spike it with the door and also just lock it normally, just in case.
Just in case, you never can be too sure. Who did I
Doesn't
miss?
Anthony doesn't Arnold currently look like the lady?
Arnold does
I
currently look
do.
like Lady Yalah Gralhund and speaks as Arnold, or do you speak as Lady
Right
Yalah
now,
Gralhund
I'm
with
speaking
disguise
as
self?
Arnold. I can choose. I can do. I mean, since I have the minor illusion, I can do voices and stuff. But
Okay.
right now, I'm just speaking as myself. So
Stole
I'm
her
gonna
voice,
cancel out that. I'm gonna cancel out this guy's self now. But I just want to can I just turn to Tess really quick? It just because this has been a really weird hour or two, right? Like we don't.
Yeah.
This is not normal?
Yeah. So I can I just look and be like, I think we're about to leave. Do you want to come with us? Do you want to come back and
Do you want to be our friend?
do you want to be our friend? Yeah.
I would love
So why are you a cow?
Okay, no, but I don't want to be. I don't want this to sound offensive. Now, I've never met a cow human. I don't know the right vernacular. I'm sorry. I apologize. What I do have in mind though is that it might be. Now again, no offense. No offense intended. But it might be difficult for you to jump out of this window.
Unless she
cow-
does some
no.
cow leaping over the moon shit.
Very
I was
possible.
gonna say, yeah.
And
I
no,
can do
so
cow
what- so-
parkour.
So what I was going to say, or what I'm suggesting, like I would love to see. I can't wait to see this. However, I do want to say I have a special ability. If I sing a certain way called Feather Fall, it'll help everyone to fall slowly, so an entire party can jump out of a window without getting hurt, including a cow. so if you'd like to come with us, that's
While this conversation is going on, Gareth is just running around in the background, just like picking shit up, like cleaning off fingerprints.
Get the ring. Well, yeah, super would love to come along. Thank you for asking. Not a human. I'm a fae. Fae cow. One of my Alex, what am I?
You are a druid.
Thank you. I was gonna say droid.
Android cow, holy shit.
I'm not the druid.
These are not the
R2D
druids
cow.
you're looking for.
C3P moo.
So
I'm so obsessed with C3P Moo. It's crazy. Anyway,
For Zor.
okay, really quick. While you guys are having this conversation, Mel is standing by the window. I imagine kind of like hustling you guys through it. Let's go. You, Gareth, hear the city watch coming up the stairs, sort of like outside and down this hallway. Like they are hustling. You hear metal boots scraping against marble floors and confused shouts. However, as you pick up one of the books sort of like by the door that you saw Arnold's hand brush against, you're trying to clean up all these traces. Arnold, you hear a soft click and a drawer in that desk pops open.
Awesome. I look immediately, just
Inside the desk.
I see it.
Yeah, you don't need to do a perception check just because
Okay.
you're right there and you saw it kind of like come out. You see a sealed envelope, pretty thick, about 2 inches thick, with a glowing blue glyph across the seal.
Awesome. Can I read what it says?
Can we do that later?
Can't.
I can't read what it says.
You can. I'm gonna need an Arcana check from you to see like what you're.
If I can
how
tell.
close you
Okay.
get. Yeah.
Okay, fair. Let's see.
Tess, the bird in front of you titters
Ooh.
from one origami foot to the other.
The bird in front of me?
The paper
the
bird.
paper bird.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay.
It moves. Yeah, it jumps from one foot to the other.
Well, now
All
don't you
right.
feel like an asshole for eating its wing?
I mean, it should have tasted better. That's
Then you would have eaten more
then
of
it would be ever out of his memory. Okay, can I keep it? Is it mad?
No, you could. I mean, how?
How are you gonna
Shoulder.
carry it? Gently.
On my shoulder.
Oh.
You're gonna like pick it up with your teeth
I'm
and put
gonna
it on your
poke
shoulder.
it with my nose and like toss it on my shoulder.
Okay, I guess you do also have coverall pockets that you could tuck it into very neatly.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
All right, Arnold, what'd you get?
I got a 23.
23 is quite good. Okay, yes. So you recognize the glyphs of a fairly common lock spell. Pretty run of the mill, put across like sealed containers or in this case packets meant to prohibit people from opening them. So it's just the words of the spell sort of scrolled across.
Very cool. Can I read it like aloud? Can I just like whisper it and see if anything happens? Just
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
I want to try it. I want to
now.
try.
It kills
The
it.
cops, can we do this at
Like
home?
Mel would
The cops
Okay,
are on their
saying,
way.
like
Okay.
Mel would be
We run-
like, "Come on, just
Okay.
put it in your
So-
bag and let's get the fuck
I'm
out."
scared
of
to grab
here."
stuff, so I grab it. So I just grab it and I put it in my. I just put it in my pocket. Like
I
Okay.
have a question.
So
What
I was trying so hard to be like, yes, but like the cops are on their way to
Real quick question. My hostage, little pincher boy, Jiminy Cricket Lobster, did he
Mhm.
disappear too? Or
No, I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
This is
Okay. Someone
horrifying.
grab him.
God.
He's
But
fucking
wasn't
coming
he
with us.
attached to the fucking?
He was sandwiched between the last time you guys checked in with him. He was sandwiched between the half-orc bodyguard and one of the bandits. I want to say Tess hurled him at someone.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
sort
the
of got-
ogre. I hurled him at the ogre thing.
Yeah. So the last,
Yeah.
but he is still here. You see him sort of like weaving around on the floor. But he grabs his face with his pincers and he goes, "Is that man dead? Oh my God, the sanctity of
little.
human life."
Anyway,
you're the only
okay.
one that cares, buddy. Let's
Is-
move on. Let's
is-
get out of
is
here.
Gar- is
You in
Gareth-
or out?
Is Gareth done like cleaning prints and getting the area?
Yeah, for the most part, you've moved your traces off this room.
All right. The last thing I want to do before we all jump out the window is I want to leave the window open with the rope, and I want to take the calling card that this person left, and I want to leave it on the dead body.
So she threw the calling card outside.
I will grab it real quick. I'm framing the hell out of it. This is why you don't leave calling cards.
All right. Let's get so Arnold, I believe you have a spell to cast.
Yes. Am I? Yeah. So let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it's a reaction, so it's super fast. Yeah. So I cast Featherfall on us as we jump out of the window. So.
Okay.
Tess grabs lobster.
Yes.
Puts it in her pocket. Let me go.
You hear a muffled cry before you stuff this fresh crustacean in a pocket of your coveralls. Go like, oh my god! All of you jump out the window. I'm not going to make you roll for it because of your bard spell. You roll to a stop on the grass. Gareth, it's about a 20-yard dash from where you're standing to where this calling card is. You see it gleaming in the moonlight. So you're going to need to run over there, run back, shimmy up the rope, throw it on the corpse, and then get back down.
I'm going to settle for throwing it in the room, not necessarily on the corpse.
Okay. So you dash over the card, you dash back, give me a dexterity attack. Let me see if you get it even in the window.
How do I roll? Just add dex bonus?
Yeah, add dex bonus to it.
Just like fold it into a paper airplane.
Oh, okay. 7 plus 3 is 10.
Yeah, I think you just whip it into the air and you're like, good enough. You all
it's the feather in Forrest Gump. It's just floating around forever.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't even, I don't even think it gets close to the window. I think you just huck it and you're like, ah, shit. As you all are running across the grounds, you hear splintering wood and shouts from the study. And I think as the last one of you makes for the sort of like shadow-eaten corner of this courtyard, which, by the way, still a fucking mess. There's goobers everywhere. There's like torn garments and shattered glass, and like some of these kegs are still eking out ale across the grass. But as you flee, you see heads poke out the window. And Mel, I would actually love a perception check from you, please.
I hope I see more than bees.
Time will tell.
Bees.
Bees? How bad?
Lots of bees. That was a 4.
Okay. You just see faces poke out, and you think you see one of them turn towards you and like clock you guys in general as you flee through this courtyard. However, all of the armed personnel and bodyguards have fled, so you guys make it out onto the street and disappear into the night. Flash cut. Actually, you don't disappear into the night. You disappear into the sun coming up over the buildings across the street, as it is almost early morning by the time you guys all get out of the Battle of the Bards.
What a crazy night.
Disappear into
nap.
the day.
So you disappear into the day. Flash cut. Smash cut. Smash cut.
You walk off into the sunrise.
You walk off into the sunrise. It's great. The scene you arrive to at Troll Skull Manor. Well, let me back up. Tess, you follow this group of idiots through the streets of Waterdeep. You are tired, hungry, probably, and holding a crustacean. They are and a paper bird on your shoulder.
Still hungry after eating a wing.
It wasn't good, Mel. It wasn't a very good map.
I'm dead curious what a good map tastes like.
Or more importantly, is that what makes it filling or not? Like, would a better map be more? Would it hit the spot?
I'm not satisfied. Also, it wasn't that much food. I'm a cow. I have 4 stomachs.
Do you just know how many stomachs a cow has off the dome?
That's pretty common knowledge.
I know a lot of
Not
stuff.
know that cows have 4 stomachs.
Wow.
What I did know
Wow.
is that it's technically one big stomach with 4 different compartments.
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how many stomachs I have.
I know, you just fucking mansplained how many stomachs.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to.
Way to
because-
mansplain my own body to me.
No, I genuinely did research on cows because I wanted to make better informed jokes.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
That's totally the sort of thing I would do.
That's incredible. So Tess, you follow these people through the streets. They are dressed in the costumes that you met them in, which is like a sort of like sequined purple themed sort of like disco style ABBA for set.
Fantasy ABBA.
Fantasy ABBA. Yeah, obviously.
ABBA.
But it's like seen some shit like they're like it's caked in mud. Mel has like got mud like all the way up her legs. Her arms are like holding this bow and arrow. I think she's got like Josh Pat maybe cradled under one arm because he was almost taken from her like 3 times that night. So it's a ragtag group that leads you through the streets. And as you walk through, you see bakeries opening up for their early hour bread selling. You see cafes open and the first dregs of business float in as people set up at tables outside with their newspapers. It's a spring day in Waterdeep, so still on the cold side. So people sitting outside are bundled up in sweaters and scarves and hats and sitting by braziers of lit coals. But you follow them through the very nice part of town where you met them, and you watch the buildings grow closer together and grow smaller as they get cheaper and shittier, and the streets narrow, and you go from wide boulevards with trees and streetlights to narrow streets with laundry strung over the top of them. There are like chamber pots being emptied out the windows, and there are people selling fish from carts, and it smells terrible.
No place like home.
And then they pull you into an alleyway, and you see your first eyeful of Troll Skull Alley. It is a narrow, cobble-bound piece of street with leaning buildings on either side, reaching up to almost an A overhead as they like eat the sky. There is a towering, burnt-out shell of what might have once been a plant store that's got like bits of glass and broken panes still like snaggle-toothed up from a door, and like bits of like baby plants that are in like little pots close to where they can catch whatever rays of sun come up over these buildings. There's a door with a burning red eye set into it at the bottom of a flight of stairs. There's a teal door standing next to a scratch sign with 3 W's on it. But you walk past all of these, you follow these 3 adventurers, and they lead you to the biggest building in Troll Skull Alley, which is a building on the corner that looks fairly new, actually. It's in sharp contrast to all these other buildings. The paint is fresh on the sides. The windows are all more or less intact. There's actually a couple of them are patched, but compared to the buildings around you, it's in really good shape. But it's big. It's 3 stories tall, and it's got like turreted windows at the top. And this is the building that these 3 people lead you to.
Okay. I think to Tess, she's walking towards it, and she's thinking that she maybe has smelled this place before. It smells like a second home, like somewhere she has never been, but that kind of like deja vu, nostalgic feeling of a smell where you're like, where is this? It reminds me of home. So I think that makes her actually trust the people she's with more. She's not, I don't think she would be put off by the alley. I think she would actually, this area, I think her first thoughts would be like, oh, this feels less gentrified. I like it. And that it would kind of remind her, I think, of home, where people are live a little bit more organically. They dry their laundry outside, and you know, they're a little bit, they're smaller homes, and they're closer together.
Oh, I love that. Awesome. As you guys approach the door of Troll Skull Manor, so I don't want to make assumptions about your business. All right, fair enough. So last time I checked in about it, you guys were open in the daytime for like coffee and non-alcoholic beverages for more like the library side, and then the bar side opened later in the evening. Is this correct?
Yeah, I'll take head here as the bartender. I don't really give a shit about the library aspect. I can't read. So typically Gareth has no idea when the library opens or closes.
Okay.
But he does know that the last call is at 3 a.m.
Okay.
And we open for business at 8 p.m.
For the bar?
Yes.
Okay.
7 p.m.
It's the dinner rush, dude.
We don't serve food.
Yeah, you should have a pub. You should open before 8 p.m.
Listen, come to our manor to learn how to run my bar. No.
Kind of
Okay.
sounds like you serve burgers. Is this true?
We do now if you keep talking. No.
Incredible.
As long as you serve it
think-
with lobster, I'm fine.
I think walking up to the front door, Mel, you hear it first. There is the sound of like breaking plateware echoing from the inside of Troll Skull Manor.
Gareth sprints full speed. Does Gareth also hear the plate smashing?
I think it's just Mel for now,
Okay. As soon
unless
as
she
Gareth-
turns around and tells you.
Mel would be really, I don't know, I'm probably just like we all just did like a sequined walk of shame with a cow. And we get home and now there's fucking plates being broken. She'd probably say like some really exasperated, like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I would think that might attract everybody else to be like,
Gareth would be
going
like,
on?
what? About what?
Gareth, even that slight pull to your attention towards the door, you also hear a plate smash.
Full speed ahead.
Okay, you hammer open this door to a scene of, I'm going to call it mild chaos. You open for breakfast. You have a very slight but reliable breakfast trade at Troll Skull Manor of people coming in to buy coffee and tea and Danish and grab a book from the shelves. It's a very welcoming space early on. You get some pretty good morning light. And normally, Floon is your opening sort of like guy. He's here bright and early. I don't know if he's got a key. I imagine Cerulean had a key and maybe let him in. But
Sorry, go ahead.
He's sort of the guy. But you open the door, Mel and Gareth together, to see Evan Stokesworth standing behind the bar attempting to pour 4 cups of coffee at once using a funnel and a tray. And you see Dustin Eggo on a pair of roller skates moving around the dining room at a pace that would frighten the little redheaded idiot from Ratatouille with 2 trays of Danish. And he's trying to slide plates of Danish from his tray to the table as he moves past. But he is doing, God, so bad. He dumps,
children?
These are 2 children who live in Troll Skull Alley, Evan Stokesworth and Dustin Eggo.
Dustin Eggo, incredible.
And you see Dustin Eggo dump a full cream cheese Danish across one old gentleman's lap and just sort of like baptize him in it. And actually, as he does that, he looks up and clocks you, and his eyes go wide as dinner plates, and he falls just like ass over tea kettle on the ground.
Gareth starts yelling. Gareth starts yelling at these 2 boys.
Kicks children.
Troll Skull has very strict rules when it comes to employment age. You need to be at least 18 years old to work here. Less strict rules about ordering, but you do not work here. Where's Floon?
From the floor, you hear Dustin Eggo pipe up and say, "Mr. Gareth, sir, you said that we could have beer anytime we wanted, and we didn't have to order it, and you wouldn't card us. So, like, we thought that the employment age was a little bit more loosey-goosey, just like the rest of the rules here, sir. Please, sir, Mr. Gareth, sir."
I understand your assumption, and it was a bold one to make when none of us were here. Who told you could do this?
Floon did, obviously.
Don't you ever take that tone with me again.
Okay, I am sorry.
Oh,
Anyway, where is
listen,
Floon?
Mel doesn't like children anyway, because I don't really care for children.
Little self insert there.
As if that hasn't happened the entire campaign, bestie. Come on now. Come on.
That's the best way to play a character.
And especially them taking a tone now, like being in our place in fucking like roller skates. Like
I do want to specify the tone came from Evan Stokesworth behind the bar, not Dustin Eggo. Dustin Eggo is fully chastised.
He's behind. Oh, I mean, Mel would be pissed. She'd be like, get out.
Oh, I would be so much more mad at the dumbass behind the bar. Mm-hmm. My bar?
She'd be like, get out. Leave your roller skates and get the fuck out.
He's not wearing roller skates. He walks
Whoever's
out from
wearing them, leave them because I kind of want them for later. But
yeah, I mean, they invented roller skates.
Is there 4 of them by any chance?
No, but they are child size, so at least you have 2 cow size roller skates. You just need to come up with one other pair. Evan Stokesworth puts down his tray of coffee. He puts down his funnel, and he sort of walks out and he takes off his apron and he's like, I didn't even want to work here anyways. Place is dumb. And also, why does your coffee machine take forever to turn on magically?
What do you take forever to turn on?
I'm a
No,
minor,
that is
so
a
like
child.
maybe let's cool that tone.
I didn't know it was
So both of them are sullenly walking out.
Yeah, I think Evan Stokesworth makes for the door. Evan Stokesworth he's over it. He's like, I didn't want to be here, whatever. Dustin Aggo is sort of like standing on one roller skate and is sort of like rolling one foot like sort of back and forth, and he's sort of like fiddling with his hands, and he goes, Mr. Garrett, sir, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess. I had a lot of people to serve, and the Danish was the rollerblades was Evan's idea. I wanted to walk and carry the trays, but Evan said that I would go super fast if I had the roller skates on.
To be fair, he's not wrong.
Go
However,
fast into the fucking floor.
Leave us the
I-
tips you
great
made.
point.
Yeah, I mean that's the least you can put. If anyone tipped these
Did you make
shitty
any?
servers, like
So what Gareth
otherwise, like leave your tips to pay for the damage you caused, or we're gonna call your parents.
That's illegal. But
So-
yeah, I like that idea.
so what Gareth is going to do is
Not illegal in fantasy world.
It's true.
Gareth is Dustin, I have some good news for you. You could stay here a little bit longer, and by a little bit longer, I mean long enough to clean up everything.
That's totally fair. Yes, sir, Mr. Garrett, sir. Of course, I will clean it up.
I'll throw you a gold piece for technically working here. That's comically under minimum wage.
Wow.
No,
hold
dude,
on.
it's so
Silver.
high. It's so much further higher above me. Like,
I forgot that gold is like worth things. Silver coin.
yeah, you gotta track that way down.
I'll like flip him the silver coin.
Okay.
Like, there are your wages. You do not work here. This was a one-time thing. Where after you're done cleaning up, where is Loon?
Okay, so Mr. Gareth, sir, Mr. Sneak Attack, I do not want to cause offense. I'm so sorry, but do you want me to clean up first, or do you want me to tell you where Mr. Floon went first? I will tell you whatever. I'll do whatever you want, but you told me to clean, and then you told me to answer a question.
Okay,
just
Luckily for you, Dustin, it's possible to talk while cleaning.
Okay. I think Arnold, one of these patrons catches your eye, and it's this like sort of like broad-shouldered, gray-haired woman sitting at a table by the window, and she sort of like raises a cup and sort of like gestures like she's asking for
typical.
service. And then you also hear a soft clearing of throat from another patron as they go, excuse me, dear boy, I hope it's not much of a fuss, but I have been waiting quite some time for that cheese Danish, and I'm perfectly famished. And you turn it, it's actually the owner of Corellian's Crown, sitting at the table of the burned out plant store that you saw that exploded in the explosion a couple days ago.
Oh,
didn't
did
really
the
remember that.
explosion?
Yeah, Tess, I got a lot to catch you, or Jess, I got a lot to catch you up on eventually.
Book.
Yeah, catch up, Jess, and I'll just listen in just to make sure you get everything.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to Critically Stupid. Give me just a couple of seconds. I'll have you right back to the show. I am, of course, Alexander James. I'm your Dungeon Master and your candy guy. You can't tell, but both of my legs are made out of chocolate. That's why I sit down all the time. If I stand up in the heat, I'm a goner. For legal purposes, I'm here to tell you that we are playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, an official Dungeons & Dragons module written by Chris Perkins, Scott Fitzgerald Gray, Kim Mohan, and Michelle Carter. If you or any of your buds, you gangly youths, would like to get into D&D, I highly recommend you go to dnd.wizards.com. Check out all the great products they've got there. They've got book sets to get you going. They've got dice sets if you need some of those. They've got DM screens. They have a pack of playing cards that come alive Yu-Gi-Oh style, but only under the moon on a full harvest day. Not quite sure what that is, but it's on the packaging, so it has to exist. So go to dnd.wizards.com. Check out all the cool stuff they've got. It's great. If you would like to end up as a character on the show, you can tweet us at CritStupid. You could end up as a character like Greg in this particular episode, who is at GregZilla01, GregZilla01. Greg tweeted us when we only had a couple episodes on the air, so Greg, thank you so much. If you would like to end up like Greg, or a Greg-like facsimile, as I like to call it, you can tweet us at CritStupid on Twitter and let us know what you think of the show. We are doing a big YouTube subscription push, trying to get to that magical number of 1,000 followers so that we can get access to monetize the show, get some better cameras, some better mics, get access to better recording software. So if you haven't yet, I would super appreciate it if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, if you could recommend the channel to a friend who you think might like our particular brand of dumb comedy. And if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, that would also be incredible. We rely so much on y'all's support to get us pumped up in those numbers and put in front of new people who might like the show. So please leave us a review. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And once again, thank you so much for being here. That's all I've got today. So I'll see you out there. I love you, and take it squeezy. All right, we're jumping back in.
Okay, he's staying.
What's up, everybody? We're back. Jess has got a cat now. Deal
Name
with
is
it.
Gus.
Gus?
Gus is here.
How are you not going to stand for Gus? I mean, like, come on. Yeah, we
Gus.
cut away mid-sentence and now we're coming back really abruptly, but now there's a cat. So fucking put that in your pipe and smoke it.
No.
Dear listener, there's a cat.
There's
So
a
you
cat.
should probably watch on YouTube.
I'm gonna snip it. I'm gonna snippet that and market it as hard as I can when you become a real character on the show. All right, Arnold.
In August.
I don't remember if I gave them a different name, but Fala Lefair. Fala Lefair is sitting at the table, gently asking for a fresh breakfast.
That name does not sound even remotely.
Yeah, I feel like I gave them a different name because they were the proprietor of the plant store. They sold you the fantasy cilantro or olives or whatever
It was
nonsense.
Was
you needed.
it? Was it?
No, hang on a second. You wanted it desperately to be weed, but I said no because this is a family show.
Was it one of the inserted? Was it one of the real people?
I don't
Tina?
think so. No, they were earlier in that episode. Arnold got the fetch quest to get the cilantro and olives from Dina, Daniel, and producer Sean.
Right.
Okay.
John was the gorilla.
Sean is a gorilla and Garion's favorite NPC, probably hands down.
Producer Sean? Oh, amazing.
So
One of my
good.
favorite people ever.
So
I asked him, I was like, what if you had to be any animal, what would you be? And he said gorilla. And I was like, bet,
Yeah.
bitch.
Great choice.
I'm gonna change your
Incredible.
life. All right, Arnold, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. So I look down and I say, "Oh, I am so sorry for the inconvenience. Let me, take care of that as soon as possible." And I look over at Dustin, and I'm just like, "Do you know this? Do you know the order?"
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Arnold. I got it right here. It is they want one Danish and a cup of tea, but then I brought over the packets because they told me a name of a tea that I did not know. So I decided I would bring them all of the tea, and then then they could choose the tea themselves. So person Lafayette, what tea would you like? And Dustin sort of extends this other tray in his hand, and it's fucking murdered with tea boxes. There are at least 15 of them on this tray.
Yeah, so Gareth just takes like one random tea bag. And he just goes, "This work?"
Fala says, "Oh yes, that would be just delightful, thank you," and holds up a cup and saucer.
I'll dunk it in there. Why not?
Okay.
Gareth will also try
water.
his best to Gareth will clean up the patrons that got coffee spilled on them, but he will notably not refund anything.
Okay. Tess, it's so curious that you say something about water because you see Fala Lafayette make a curious swirling motion with one hand, and the contents of their cup start steaming in the early morning rays coming through the dining room.
Water is life.
They're a firebender.
Life is water, baby.
Nice.
That's an esoteric reference for our new party member that has no fucking idea what we're talking about.
I
God
remembered
damn.
something, and that's the important takeaway here.
Okay. Gareth, I believe you had a question for Dustin Ego or Evan Stokesworth, unless you'd like to just let Evan Stokesworth go because he's low-key kind of an asshole.
I just want to know where Floon is.
So you see, I think it is Evan, being the more responsible of the two, stop at the front door and say, "Listen, we didn't just decide to come in here, okay? We were paid to do a job. We were outside minding our own business, playing a little spell ball, because this little idiot still throws way too hard, has no idea how to hit a moving receiver. And the guy, Mr. Floon, poked his head out the window and said, "Hey, do you want to make some quick money?" And we said, "Yes, obviously." So like why are we in trouble?
Gareth is gonna walk closer to Evan,
Okay.
and he goes, "You may not be in trouble because Floon hired you, but you are in trouble for that tone of voice. You are in trouble for fucking up my bar, and you are in trouble for not admitting what you did wrong."
And we're not paying you. We'll pay Dustin because he's nicer.
You know, Dustin got a silver coin.
You ain't getting shit.
Okay. So Gareth he's been to leave unless you need him for something. Like sort of your tone of voice, like he's not really gonna stay unless you need him for something.
No, with that, I'll just say, you're welcome back anytime as a customer.
Okay.
Mel's
Arnold,
just,
you
like shaking her head behind him, like no. Like, doing, like scary eyes, you know. Everyone says she's scary lady. She's like doing full on scary eyes, being like, no.
you do one of these, like you like look at your like point
Yeah,
to your eyes and then
exactly,
point
like-
to him.
Thumb across the throat.
Yeah. I was trying not to be murdery because of my mental health, but yeah.
Right. Mel, I think you're actually close enough to hear it. You hear the gentle sound of coin clinking against wood as you see Dustin Ego reach a shaking hand into his pocket and pull 4 copper pieces out of one pocket and put them on the table. And still looking at the floor, he says, "Miss Mel, I'm so sorry to tell you that this is the coin that we accepted from Mr. Floon to do the job. I fully believe that you should take it. I didn't actually get tipped because nobody would be willing to give me any money for what they said I did to them, but I really did try my best."
Dustin, you can keep your. No, he was talking to Mel. Sorry.
I mean, you're standing right there, though, right?
Yeah, you're both talking.
Well,
You
I mean,
both
you
get
can
it.
butt
Yeah.
in if you want.
Dustin, you can keep your copper. We're going to be docking Floon's pay. You can keep the copper and the silver I gave you.
Well, now hang on a second, Mr. Gareth. Like I'm just, gosh darn it, I'm really, really sorry. But I don't think that it's Mr. Floon's fault because that person came in and talked to him and said that there was something important. And then he poked his head out and said that we had to come in and help him and he would pay us. So I don't think it's his fault either. So I don't think you should dock anybody's pay. Maybe you could give the copper pieces back to Mr. Floon and then then everybody could be.
Slow
Dustin,
down.
where did
Who's
you get
this-
your business degree?
Who is this person that Floon was talking to?
Oh gosh, Mr. Gareth, I didn't recognize them. They were wearing a cloak and a hood, and I didn't see their face.
That is what cloaks and hoods are designed for.
Damn it! Foiled by fashion yet again.
So did Floon leave the bar with this person?
Well, the person came in and talked to Mr. Floon, and I didn't hear what they said. And then this person left, and then Mr. Floon poked his head out of the window and said, "Do you want to make some money?" And then I didn't say anything because don't talk to strangers. But then Evan said yes. So then we went inside.
Okay, and then Floon stayed. He left.
Mr. Floon, he did show me where the Danish was. They came in the bakery box, and the bakery box was back in behind the bar area. And he said, "You give people the bakeries, and then somebody has to give them the coffee and the tea." And I said, "I will give people the bakeries because I have my roller skates on because I was playing spell ball, which everybody knows you play with roller skates on." And then Evan was like, "Okay, then I guess I will give people the coffee and the tea and the beverages." And then, of course, now here we are.
Okay. Great, Dustin. You did you didn't do a very good job. But you know, it was the enthusiasm that counts. And you know what? In a few years, if you need work after school, come on by. But for now, go play with your friend.
Okay, Mr. Gareth, you got it. Yeah, you. Thank you so much. And he rollerblades out the front door.
Gareth turns around to his party. I'm gonna kill Floon. Well, we gotta find this fucking Carrot Top. Where'd he go?
Are you asking each other or are you asking me?
Kind of both. I assume he's not in the manor currently.
He is not. I mean, in the immediate premises, you haven't checked upstairs of the basement, but you get the feeling that he's not here.
Okay. And he doesn't live with us, right? He just comes here for work.
He does not actually. So Jess, you might not know this, a little bit of backstory. There is an employee here called Floon. He was the subject of the party's first mission in Waterdeep. They found him. He was kidnapped.
Now we have to find his ass again.
He sort of like became attached to this property as a sort of makeshift bartender, bar back, sort of all hands person.
He's basically the guy who does stuff when we go on cool adventures.
Right, yeah. But he's not here right now. You can go find Floon, should you like to. I'm curious what everybody's first reaction would be, sort of coming back to this mess and like coming back home for the first time in what feels like a very long evening.
Like, all Mel wants to do is get cleaned up and out of the sequined stuff and maybe give Josh Pat a little bath if he needs it. Like she just wants to fucking chill. She's super annoyed and isn't too keen on having to find Floon again. It's like, we can just hire somebody else.
I think Gareth is gonna low-key like turn the open sign to close. He's not gonna kick the people already in like out, but
okay,
we're closed for the day.
Do you explain that you're closed for the people sitting inside? Like, how do you spin that to them?
Doesn't really affect them. Basically, I'll just say like, hey, just so you guys know, we're closing down for the day. You have as much time as you need to finish your meal, finish your book. But as soon as you walk out that door, you cannot come back in. So make sure you're finished.
Can I just say, like, the attention to detail that Garion has for the business goings on of this manor are like the level of attention is like almost double what is happening in most other scenes.
Like, yeah, there's like, oh yeah, Gareth, he's like a rogue and a thief and he has a magic knife, but he's also just a bartender, man.
He's just a small businessman trying to do his best. Arnold, did I hear you start to say something and I cut you off?
Oh, no, I mean, you can cut me off. But I was going to say, so I would look at Tess and the lobster and, then be like, so this is where we live. If you'd like it, I could show you around the rooms, show you where Cerulean's room was. And, there are other rooms in here. Maybe you can take a look and see if you find a place to stay. I honestly just need a nap. I'm exhausted and I'm disgusting. So I'm going to take it up, but I'll show you around the room, so like I say, like, if you're interested.
Yeah, thank you so much. I didn't want to intrude, or like, you seem like you have a lot going on. So if you don't want me to stay, it's totally fine. Probably don't need to stay in Cerulean's room. Would probably like to live that where it is. But if you got a tank for this guy, you just hold up the lobster and I like look at him and I give him like a look. And then I'm like, but yeah, if I could have somewhere to stay, and also just take a nap. If you have a pile of hay, that will be fine. Just whatever.
What are you doing with your origami bird?
I just stand in my pocket.
Oh.
Tess, you're absolutely welcome to stay here as long as you like. I do have one request. If you, for any reason, need to come behind the bar, do so as a fae, not a cow. A lot of glass over there.
You don't want to serve free milk?
Woof. I was talking about knocking things over. Gross.
As you hoist this lobster upside down and he sort of goes, whoa! And then he says, I'll be fine with just a rock. I don't need any sort of fancy tank. I'm not one of those fancy lobsters. I'm just a normal boy.
Yeah, but I don't want you running away from me because I have questions for you.
Gosh, that's pretty threatening. Okay. So Arnold, you take Tess upstairs, which is sort of like the most of the rooms in this space. Tess, above, there's a staircase behind the bar that leads upstairs. There's a please do not enter sign on a chain that Arnold unhooks and leads you up. And you find upstairs several like apartments worth of actually pretty nice rooms laid out pretty tastefully above this bar, restaurant, library scenario. There's a common room with several bookshelves and a fireplace that's currently empty and like a large table and comfortable chairs. There are several bedrooms that are sort of like sparsely decorated and laid out, you assume ostensibly for guests. There are the crew rooms. I don't actually know what they look like. So if you guys want to jump in and tell me what your rooms look like or how they're decorated, I'd be very curious to know.
I'm pretty sure that my room is still just the basement with like a curtain in the corner.
Your room is the basement. I think we gave you a wall and a door. I think we did actually give you that luxury.
Very cool.
So I guess it's just Mel, Arnold, and Cerulean on the upstairs.
I mean, as far as I remember, my room still has a middle finger carved into the floor of it, and I painted it, if I recall.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like a very careful circle stepped around it. Where like Arnold, I don't know that if you cross that seal. I don't think you do.
Nah.
But Tess, Arnold takes you. Is there a style of room that you would look for sort of naturally? Lots of light, eastern, western facing, big windows. What's your vibe?
A stable,
big windows.
maybe
Is
a
it a
barn.
either full on barn vibes or
Okay.
yes, big windows, lots of natural light. I like for as opposed to minimalist, he's quite maximalist. So I
alright.
love me some clutter. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna start calling myself a max.
Oh yeah, I call
my room
myself a
isn't
maximalist.
dirty. I'm a maximalist, actually.
Exactly.
Tess, Arnold leads you past a room that catches your eye almost right off the jump. It's on the first floor. After you come up these stairs, there's like a little half stairway that leads up to it. So the front door actually opens into this like little hallway that sort of leads down into this common room. But focused on one wall, sort of directly across from the door, is a big circular eye window, almost like 5-6 feet across, that floods this room with like beautiful early morning light. And there's a platform on the end that catches your eye with a little half ladder leading up to it, where like you could see a bed going very nicely.
Okay. Ladders are hard.
All right, let's call it a wide staircase instead of a ladder.
Climbing a ladder.
I would pay to see that.
Is this room taken, or any chance that I could? Is there any reason there's a big eye there? Is it like a sacred room? Or
Arnold, she's talking to you.
Oh, she's talking to me.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to ask the ghosts. I don't know a whole lot about this house, but I do know that it's haunted. Hey, ghost, is it cool that she stays in this room? And see if there's any kind of response.
I
You
think
got to say like slam a door if it's cool or something.
Yeah.
I think there is the very subtle rattling of floorboards underneath you, Arnold, and a nail pops off one of the floorboards and zips up into the ceiling and then clatters to the floor underfoot.
It's almost a threat. or
It
It
not.
That
feels like
cannot
a
be a
no.
yes, right?
They
There's
said we
no
nailed
way.
it with our choice. We just-
Make the eye blink twice. If it's okay.
Yeah.
Wait, is it an actual eye or is it like a window, just like a
It's
circular
a
window?
semi-oval window. It's not an
Okay.
actual eye.
Okay, so I'll let you know based on my experience that when they don't like you, they draw middle fingers on the ground, and when they do like you, they do some sort of random sound. So this could go either way. This does seem like a nice room though.
Okay. Yes. In my experience, ghosts tend to like me. I have spoopy vibes, so I would love this room if I can have it. So yeah, Tess just kind of goes in and she just kind of like flops out on the
Maybe the
ground.
ghosts just don't like a cow being in there. Like maybe if you were a fae, it'd be far more agreeable.
Racist
Ooh.
ghosts.
Is that racism?
It's specious.
Specious.
It's
actually.
specious, yeah. It's
Speciest.
Small update of Gareth's room. The ladder that leads down into the sewers, super blocked off. Like caution tape, bolted shut, all that.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
that's good to know. Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, just retest. Like she has no idea that it's weird that she's a cow, because like from where she's from, it's like it's just like animals and plants are just kind of part
The
of the
fact that
culture.
she's
So, like, she
surrounded
doesn't
by
fully
not
understand
cows
that people
isn't a
think it's
hint.
weird. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Arnold.
Can I just do one quick thing before you go on? So can I just ask? So is the lobster still with Tess at this moment? Because we never.
I'm so fucking glad you asked that. So the lobster wriggles out of the coveralls and out of Tess's hooves and says, "Well, all right, gosh darn it, that's enough. Now, I have had a terrible morning, and you all have not been very understanding of me, and I've and I want some answers. And it clicks its pincers, and it almost looks a little bit menacing, but it is obviously a lobster, so it's not. And he turns to Tess and says, now listen, I think what I saw in my world was a travesty of justice and the natural order. And I would like to help you, cow person, find who did it. And also, I want to go home. And I think that's the same thing. Now, I know you look at me and you just see a lobster, but actually, I've got a name. My name's Greg. And I'm a member of the Junior Shellfish Detective Agency, or JISDA. And we are committed to solving crimes of the most heinous order. And I'm honor bound to help a fellow Fae. So I propose that I live here with you under a rock, and I'll help you solve clues as to how those ding dang chul killed your people.
Oh, that's right. Right, Jista.
The name was Greg.
Oh, okay. Right. I'm sorry, Greg.
You can't just call a man Jizda.
Sorry, Greg of Jista. Okay, so you're telling me I should trust you, that you are not the same as the Chul. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm not mature enough for my consciousness to drain down my spinal cord.
Are you saying that at some point you will reach that point?
Well, gosh darn it, the magic's baked out of all of us eventually.
You were from my world then. You were from the Fae world?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Tess still wouldn't trust him a lot much, but
Totally.
she does want as much help as she can get. So she's like, okay, well, if you promise not to run away, we'll treat you better than this. But I want answers. I have so many questions. I also want to get home, and I want more than anything to know what is happening to my people, my friends, my family, my neighbors. You don't fuck with my people and get away with it.
I think this lobster waddles up to your paw. He doesn't go up to your face. Your nose is still your hooves. Sorry. It waddles up to your hooves. I didn't Google cows before this episode. Apparently,
Somebody
to
did
my
do their
own
research.
detriment.
Google cows to know they don't have paws, then you've got bigger problems.
At the end of each leg is a stomach. And
Cows walk on their
It's actually one big stomach. It's a compartment at the end of each leg of one big
Yeah, they're
stomach.
actually it's actually one big leg. They're just different compartments.
This lobster waddles up to your hoof and gently lays a claw on one of your hooves and says, now this is a solemn promise from a member of the Junior Shellfish Detective Agency, or, and I cannot state this enough, JISDA. I will help you solve this heinous crime, and we will both go home together.
Arnold cries. Like, I'm just.
It's a beautiful scene.
Just a beautiful moment.
okay.
Tell
So
me
because
more about-
just Tess is like, on behalf of the Fae, Testicles is now in partnership with Jizta.
All right,
tell
he
me
reaches
though.
out and like shakes your hoof with his claw.
Takes my hoof. Yeah. And then I like
What'd you say, Garion?
push him off because I'm allergic.
Am I in the room with them, or am I on them?
That's up to you.
Yeah, did you follow?
Is it worth retconning my intent for a stupid joke? No, it's not.
All right, fair enough. Actually, Gareth, thank you so much for asking,
Oh, it's a joke.
or for bringing the focus to you. I have a question. So, speaking of retconning, I want to throw a little something into your room. When you left your village, way back when, you took a box with you, very small, like a cigar box.
Okay.
But you packed it with some really important things to you from your village.
Okay.
What'd you take? And why?
Drug.
Drugs. The box
I
is
hate to
empty
break
now
it to you
because he's
guys.
used them all.
Yeah, no, they're not in the box. I hid them all in my lungs.
That's the best place to hide them. The coppers will
Yeah.
never find
They're
it
never
there.
gonna find them
I'll
in there.
never get it. He baked it into the Danishes.
So Well, while we're in the topic of talking about my village, I wanted to discuss what if my village was like. I want my village to like, because I don't want it to just be generic wizard village. I think it'd be cool if they like studied the kind of magic.
Okay, I love that.
I was thinking about teleportation magic because it would lend more credibility to my teleporting knife,
Yeah, 100%.
and B, that's not super like I'm not going to be able to use that in every fight where I'm like, oh, he's using teleportation, you know?
Yeah, no, it's pretty esoteric. That's cool. It's cool as hell. Honestly, I'm into it. So your village specialized in teleportation magic.
Yes.
So what did you take from this village when you were sort of like run out of your own home? What were the few things you took that were important to you?
So I think the first thing I took was it's actually just my not magic knife, my regular knife.
Okay.
And then I don't want to give myself a magic item, so I'm that's why I'm trying to like.
No, these are like think like tchotchkes, like little nightstand things, maybe that remind you of home as opposed to like do something from home.
You know what I have?
Tell me.
I have my very first trainer wand. It doesn't actually cast spells. It's the equivalent of training wheels on a bike, but it's like yay big.
Okay.
And I keep it in a box to think about what would have happened if I did go to school.
It's an unsharpened pencil. He's just illiterate.
Yeah, I just don't know.
All right. I'm going to do a smash cut really quick because I think it's adorable. Mel, it is later that afternoon after you've gotten yourself and Joshua Patrick bathed. And I will say, like, after you washed the boy, he was in a much better mood. He did have some salt water like caked into his paws that he wasn't a fan of. So like after he got him washed, he sort of like ran around your room and like danced a little bit, and then he like spun himself into a circle and is currently he got the zoomies, but he is currently taking a nap on your bed in a sunbeam. So like his happy space.
I have
Does
an
he
important
get blow dried? I need to know if he gets blow dried. Does he like, or does he just kind of like shake himself dry?
That's a question for Mel. That's not
Well,
me.
it's Mel. Yeah, Mel.
I mean, obviously, like any dog, as soon as they get out of the bath, they shake and they get their water everywhere. I'd give him like a good toweling and then like a light blow dry. I feel like he would like it. Like I definitely see him like just really enjoying the heat and the warm.
Real quick, why are zoomies only regulated to dogs and cats? What if Tess gets the zoomies? What if a cow is fucking?
Our manor will not survive that.
Every time there's like an open field and we get anywhere, like Tess just immediately gets the zoomies.
As long as you're outside, because we don't have another duck to sell to fix our manor. If you zoom
anywhere where somewhere that's kind of like outdoors, where there's like a big area.
We have a yard. I guess I'm not quite sure how big our yard is, but we do have a yard.
I will say your yard's like 50-ish feet. It's a good sized yard, but a shitty sized pasture.
Can you explain what that is in meters?
It's 28 meters.
We talking fantasy freedom units here.
Fantasy feet.
Mel, we're doing a smash cut real quick. It is later that afternoon, and you find yourself with a peculiar thirst for some of the special cider that you asked Cerulean to order for the bar that you enjoy so much because it reminds you of the wilds of home. Maybe it's a cider that's actually brewed with the apples that grew sort of like close to where you grew up, and you miss that sort of like sweet, bitter taste. It's just Fireball whiskey. It's just barrels of Fireball whiskey. Anyway. You are downstairs in the basement. Gareth's not there. He's probably up at the bar ranting and raving at the mess that Floon left in the wake of these children. But I think out of like a moment of curiosity, you notice that Gareth's bedroom door is open. You're not necessarily one to pry. I think you do respect people's privacy. However, you notice that there's a box on Gareth's nightstand that's open, and you've never seen it before. And sitting on this box is a stubby, almost looks like it was broken off a stunted tree piece of wood that's weathered at one end, that is pointed at the wall, sort of at the end of Gareth's bed. And you hear a curious squeaking sound coming from inside the rogue's bedroom.
A squeaking sound?
A squeaking sound.
A dubious little creature.
Can you make that sound for me, Bestie?
Yes, please.
You know what? I came in pretty hot at the beginning of this episode, so yes, I can.
Episode title.
You know that sound of when you open a door real slowly?
Mel's just thinking we need a little fantasy WD-40 here. Like,
Yeah.
like zero concern whatsoever.
Oh God, Gareth, your hinges are whoa.
Like mental note, we should take care of that.
That's what my knees sound like when I stand up.
Okay, so Mel, I think the question is, would you investigate this thing that you've never seen in a friend's room, or would you respect the privacy and leave it to their sort of being?
I think that unless Mel had some reason to believe that there was something that needed immediate attention happening, that she would respect privacy. Because she, contrary to the fact that she gets drawn into all these crazy like adventures, she is not one to like go out of her way to look for trouble.
Okay.
And isn't gonna go prying into somebody else's things.
Business. All right.
Plus I figure she's still pretty just like distracted with everything that has happened, you know, Cerulean abandoning us and then everyone trying to steal Josh Pat and you know, so she just hears a weird squeaking noise and again, unless it was something that gave her cause, she might pause. She might like glance in to see if there's anything
Give me a perception check really quick, Bestie.
Last time I did that, there were just bees. I mean, if there were bees in his room, she'd shut the door.
Yeah, but they'd be buzzing, not squeaking.
I did make a very specific sound, much to my dismay.
I don't know if that sound was. You can classify it as a squeak.
11.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm rolling like shit tonight.
I don't think you've had enough to drink. Cheers.
Rosé.
I honest to God don't know.
That's the move.
It's a peach Moscato.
Whoa.
Fuck is Biscondo?
Oh.
What?
The fuck is Moscondo? Is my favorite episode
Moscondo?
title
Like a
we've
Moscato?
ever had.
You laughed at me for asking a
Moscato.
question.
Moscato?
Oh, is that what you
Moscato,
said?
not Moscato.
Moscato.
I may have
Do I
misheard.
say it funny? Like is it me or was it his?
I mean-
you
No.
coming
It was
through?
Dianna actually. She said it weird.
Fuck is Moscondo?
I don't know. What the fuck is a
What is
Moscato?
All right.
Moscato's bad.
With an 11, Bestie, I don't think you notice anything awry in this room. I think you're just like, oh, that's a weird sound. And then you grab your bottle of cider and you roll.
Yeah. She might make a mental note later to be like, hey, Gary, you should probably something in your room. I don't know, again, with the fantasy WD-40, you might want to those hinges there,
Yep.
but
WD-41.
Yeah, fantasy, obviously. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jess. Gareth, it is same mid-morning. I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're a little too riled up to fully relax like the rest of your group. I think you are taking charge of the guests in the dining room, making sure they have what they need before they leave while you're closed. When you hear a whistling from outside on the street, jaunty, like somebody whistling their way through the gayest part of their day. I'm going to say that again.
can you
Like
whistle that for us, Bestie?
I'm not. No. I have shoveled myself out of the hole that I dug for myself. I am standing on
You
firm
think
ground.
one little squeak.
Are
gets
you
out of that?
gonna demand that I whistle a jaunty tune for you? Is that what's happening right now?
Yes.
No, I want to hear the gayest part of your day, Alex.
Yeah, I was really focused on that.
That's what I was trying to retcon.
The
But now we're
gayest
here.
part of my day, I was walking to work and then I kissed a dude. I was whistling the jaunty tune
I was
while
gonna
I
say, I
did
was
it.
about to say while whistling a jaunty tune.
All right.
That is
The whistling sounds like
He's doing a little dance for listeners.
I was
You
gonna
have to
say
tune in.
for
there's
audio,
no way.
audio listeners, it's worth watching for the
It
jaunty
is.
dance.
It is something.
It is 1,000% funnier without the whistling because you.
Yeah, there's
So
no
good.
way. There's no way my mic picked it up. No way. Anyway,
A little
Uh,
dancey dance.
Gareth, you see a lick of red hair appear around the corner and start angling towards the front door. And then 2 seconds later, the front door opens and Floon walks in, looking like he's just won the lottery.
Before he gets a word out, Gareth has him like by the collar.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
And hot.
A little bit. It's a little hot.
This is the gayest part of Gareth's day.
He kisses
Not
him
by
on the
far.
mouth.
Sorry, Gareth, go ahead, please.
Okay, so would you like to explain not only why you decided to play hooky from work today, but why you decided to, in your stead, hire 2 children? I would have genuinely preferred if we were unstaffed for the day.
Whoa, hey. Hey, Boss Gareth. Hey, man. Like, whoa. First of all, good morning. Hey, listen, I just stepped out to get you some coffee, and because I knew that you were going to be back from your whatever you has it, and I just stepped away for a second. I just thought it'd be a cool treat, like a cool thing to give you, man. Like, hey, can we take a breath, bro?
Don't we serve coffee at this place?
All right, you know what, Floon? You're right. I was a little aggressive. However, I do think it is insane of you to make such a bold-faced lie directly to my face. You just stepped out. There were 2 children in here for the whole day. They're still
for the
broken
record,
plates.
Gareth, the timeline we're working on is like a couple of hours.
Oh, okay.
You can still say it's the whole day. That's fine, but I just
For the whole
want you-
shift.
There you go. Whoa, hey man, like hey, bro, Gareth, like maybe it's my bad, but I thought Evan Stokesworth and Brian and Brian, I don't even know who the fuck that guy is. I thought Evan Stokesworth and Dustin Aggo were super trustworthy, and like I thought they were cool beans, bro. Yeah, maybe
the children.
Hey, listen, maybe they're a little on the young side, but maybe Waterdeep needs like some labor reform, yo. You know what I'm saying?
That's the opposite of reform. That's
Hey,
going in the
reform just means
wrong
change.
The
direction.
children yearn for the mines. Anyway. All right, Floon, listen. That's behind us now. We're never going to employ children again, and honestly, we're pretty close to not employing you again. So why don't you explain where you were going? Because you weren't getting me coffee. We serve coffee.
Yeah, but bro, Gareth, like our coffee's not good, man.
I know that, Floon. I buy it.
I kind of thought you'd like double down and be offended because like you
I know.
like so seriously.
Fair
You'd be like, what the
trade.
fuck? This is from like Artisan Beans, but instead you're like, no.
No, we buy the cheapest stuff so we can
I
make the most profit.
know. We just label it.
Oh no,
organic.
Gareth is only snooty about the alcohol.
That's
All
legit.
right, that's fair. You asked me to tell you where it was. You see his face grow a little serious, Gareth, and his expression softens. His hands fiddle with the edge of his cloak, sort of like pulling it instinctively tighter around himself. And he says, oh, hey, man, like, okay, Mr. Gareth, like, Boss Gareth, like, my dad's real sick, yo. Like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, listen, I know we keep it light. I know we keep it 95 fun here, 5% work. I know you've told me that before, but like, my dad's not feeling so hot, and I don't know what I'm gonna be without him. So
I don't give a fuck about your dad. No, I'm kidding. No, okay. Is he still talking? I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, he's still talking, but
Okay,
like,
sorry. Good. I thought that was like the end of a Gareth
Gonna
didn't
end up
actually
with,
say that. Let's be
Yeah.
clear. Garion said that, but
He says,
Diana was thinking it, if it helps.
that does help, I'm sure. He says, you ever like, I don't know, Boss Gareth, like you ever like look at the world without your person in it? Just like try to imagine yourself moving on without that other person. I don't know. I had to go, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I hired kids. But like, bro, they're cool as hell. Did you see Dustin Echo's rollerblades? What?
real quick,
Bestie, I'm not gonna
when-
lie. When you said see the world without your person in it, I was like, oh, Floon dissociates too.
when
He's got a little bowl of ice water right there, Diana, for his fingertips.
when Floon says the thing about like seeing the world without your person, the hand Garen uses his knife like reflexively like winces almost.
Ooh.
So Gareth will all right, Floon, listen, I get that your dad's sick, and I completely understand. I'm not here to be mad at you for that. What I am going to be mad at you for is lying when you could have said you were going to see your sick father. In fact, I don't think we would be having this conversation anymore if you led with that.
Bro, like, I didn't listen. I know like you're cool with it because like you're like, I know that you call yourself Boss Gareth, but like you're really bro Gareth, you know what I mean? But like
It's so
Ellie-
funny because I don't call myself Boss Gareth. Like that's only Bloom.
but like that lady Cerulean, bro, like she scares me, man. And she'd fire me in a heartbeat if she knew I walked out on a shift.
Well, I have some good and bad news for you. What do you want first?
Oh, my dad always says good news first, bro. Start the day on a smile.
All right. The good news is you have so much employment opportunity. No, I'm kidding.
Your ass is fired.
The good news is, Floon, you can still work here. You can visit your father when needed, and also just let me know ahead of time, and don't hire children. The bad news is we're totally docking your pay for every damage that those two, again, children caused.
Okay, but bro, Gareth, like, did you see those rollerblades though, bro?
I will admit that was pretty sick.
So sick.
Like, honestly, a little bit more hand-eye coordination, and we could really be onto something here.
All right, let's end this episode on a lovely scene. Everybody in the common room upstairs. It's the end of this sort of terrible day. You've all had your isolated times to clean up and rest a little bit. Josh Pat is tail wagging, jumping up and down, happy to be here. You're all in the common room upstairs in Troll Skull Manor. There's a fire in the fireplace. Tess is reading a book called Catalyst by Dustin Taylor, which is a phenomenal book that I highly recommend everybody listening to this reads.
Catalyst by Dustin Ego.
It's Dustin Ego Taylor. You don't actually see the middle name on wherever you buy your very high quality fiction, but check that shit out. I'm curious what or how everybody reacts to the newcomer Tess, who I imagine you've heard like making her room her own throughout the day, and the loss of Cerulean. I know we talked a little bit about this like in the moment, as you know, one went through the door and one came through the door, but like sitting here in this common room, drinking your evening beverages, reading your books, or doing whatever it is you do sort of pre-bedtime when you're at your safest place. I wonder what thoughts you all have about your new party moving forward.
Gareth is up later than usual because Gareth is stressed out because now 100% of the like bar duties, because Cerulean did a lot of shit, you know?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
now it's all Gareth. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Mel just kind of hangs out on her tower and Arnold does live performances. I don't believe you are, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just Staten.
Mel is not interested in being in a position where she has to interact with people.
Pretty much what I thought.
Yeah. Arnold just does entertainment, so yeah.
Looks like I
Or
might.
at least has so far. So yeah.
But like we can
Is
talk
he
about
performing?
hiring somebody else. Like, we'll get you help.
Is he performing for Tess, Arnold?
Am I performing for Tess?
Yeah, because you said you're just doing music shit.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. That's what I'm saying. Is like so far I haven't been like helping with customers or doing any kind of like restaurant duties or bar duties. I could.
That's not true. You give all the drunk people somebody to rally in front of,
Yeah.
and sway side to side.
We
true, yeah.
we made a decision to maybe not let Arnold work behind the bar because once they're his friends, he likes to give them things.
It's
Like
true.
I do
free
remember making
drinks
that
and free
decision.
food and
Arnold is very
free-
generous. It is known.
Be
Yeah.
generous, not fair. Yeah, I'm bad at this. Bad at business.
Yeah. So we keep him just singing the songs and playing the lute, and it's better that way.
So can I get, so like I'm like playing music and just sitting there while everyone's hanging out and just like, so what's Tess gonna do? Is she gonna be in my band, or is she like, Tess, what are you doing? Like, do you have any special skills that we should know about?
She can become a
Right.
cow. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty
That is more
special.
entertaining to me. I take it back. Don't tell anybody that you can do that.
Oh, fuck.
So right now Tess is in human form because she's just chilling,
Cool.
reading her book because it's easier to read when your both eyes are in front of you as opposed to each eye being on
holding the book to
either
the
side of
your
the head.
I was gonna say you can get like
Just-
two copies of the
Yes.
same book and like just put one on each. And
Tear the book
Hammerhead
in
shark
half,
style.
but read 2 pages at the same time.
is it kind of like the like with a T-Rex where you stand in front and you don't move? You can't.
There is no book.
I guess Tess would offer like, hey, I can serve. I'm like pretty good with people. If you need some help around here, I don't want to just like I want to carry my own weight. I don't want to like get in the way, but I just want to say that I really appreciate you letting me join in. I really feel the loss of Cerulean from all of you, and I just want to say that like I am having a really hard time being away from my people, my family, everyone who's made me who I am and the only place I've ever loved. So I really appreciate feeling a sense of kinship from all of you, and for being so generous for letting me be here.
Now let's talk about rent. No.
You have to work here and pay to be here.
You know what? Actually, I didn't think about this. Did Cerulean still have the what's her name? Leaf, the dead people's like ring around her neck? She like still has those, right?
I think she did hop into the Broken Sea with Leaf's wedding bands around her neck, which she kept sort of on her person at all times.
It's not our fault, Leaf.
Gareth is gonna like look up and like address the house and be like, "Hey, Leaf, you there? Slam a door if you're listening."
The door to the common room closes very gently, Gareth.
Nice. So you remember Cerulean, of course, everyone does. She was very kind in putting your wedding ring around her neck, keeping it safe with her. You may notice she's not here. She's not dead, as far as I know.
Maybe.
She did take your rings with her. She does still have them. Is that like
Maybe.
cool or
Hope so, because we're not getting them back. You're gonna have to get
Sure.
right with that, Leaf.
Do you know what I think happens, Gareth? So in this common room is a window. Obviously, this is a big house, a lot of windows. This one's a little bit more small, snug, and secure as opposed to some of the bigger, grandiose windows in Troll Skull Manor. This one just sort of looks out onto one side of the street. But what it does have is a beautiful view of the night sky and especially the moon setting over Mount Waterdeep, sort of across the city. I think in the light of the moon coming through this window, you hear a very familiar sound, tinkling like the sound of falling coins from across a great distance.
Gareth had snaps.
And you actually see manifest in just the slightest bit of moonlight on this table a pair of very eerily familiar wedding rings interlocked together appear on the wood of the table.
Gareth just looks down deep.